So next up is a man who has wanted to be Radiohead his entire life, Mr. Chris Martin.
My name is Chris Martin. The bad news is I'm not married to Gwyneth Paltrow, and I'm not the lead singer in Coldplay. Good news is I don't have any kids named Moses or Apple. I don't know why you would want to give a kid a weird name like Apple when they're perfectly good names like Microsoft or Dell. On second thought, you probably wouldn't want to call your kid Microsoft. They'd want to wind up trying to run the world and crashing all the time. You're going to name your kid after a famous Jewish leader. Why not Woody Allen, Gilbert Gottfried, or Jerry Seinfeld? But actually, my slave name is Chris Martin. I'm going to change it to something more authentic. Ginkgo biloba. Why don't they change the name of the Washington Redskins to something less racist and more accurate, like the DC Colored People or the Washington Negroes? People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals wants us to start calling fish sea kittens. I like to think of wolves as puppies with really big teeth. It's always creepy when politicians call children our most precious natural resource. What are we going to do? Eat them if things get really bad? Jay Leno keeps saying that the economy's in terrible shape, and I agree. The economy's so bad that the Geico caveman had to eat the gecko. The economy's so bad that Donald Trump had to fire himself. The economy's so bad that Miss California had to pawn her implants. The economy's so bad that the three little pigs had to drop their health coverage. The economy's so bad that Madonna adopted a baby from Detroit. We love to rag on celebrities, and Nancy Pelosi says that the CIA is stretching the truth on waterboarding, and I figured just get Nancy to stop stretching her face.
Yeah.
I want to say happy birthday to Chuck Norris, who just celebrated his 69th birthday. I never thought I'd use Chuck Norris and 69 in the same sentence. Arnold Schwarzenegger says he wants to have a debate on legalizing marijuana. Arnold will be back for the brownies. Knock on marijuana is that it makes you stupid. On that basis, we've got to outlaw public education, organized religion, and watching Jerry Springer. Mel Gibson's wife is divorcing him after 28 years. Finally, something Mel can't blame the Jews for. In Afghanistan, they just passed a law which says that a wife has to have sex with her husband every 4 days. That's pretty outrageous. So shouldn't it be like every 2 days? A woman in Maryland was recently injured when she used a sex toy attached to a saber saw. That's true. This gives a whole new definition to the phrase power tool. I don't think Tim the Toolman Taylor had that in mind when he said more power. What's next? Using a weed whacker instead of a lady chick? Reserve the weed whacker for really serious projects like Ed Asner's back hair. VCU police chief. Oh, don't try any of this stuff at home. We really need to have Richard Gere do a public service announcement. According to Snopes.com, that story about Richard Gere and the gerbil is an urban legend. On the other hand, Richard Gere's gerbil has a MySpace page, so it must be true. VCU police chief was arrested for trying to pick up a police officer who was posing as a 14-year-old girl in an internet chat room. Guys, there are no 14-year-old girls in internet chat rooms. They're just 40-year-old guys pretending to be 14-year-old girls. They're 40-year-old police officers posing as 14-year-old girls, and their 40-year-old guys are trying to pick up the first two groups. The reason there aren't no 14-year-old girls in internet chat rooms, they're all too busy sending nude photographs of themselves to their boyfriends using cell phones. We recently had the season finale of Heroes. One of the characters is a cheerleader, high school cheerleader. And isn't that pretty much the dream of every neurotic high school girl? To be a cheerleader, and when the pressure gets too intense, cut herself and not have any scars. I get stage fright when I'm doing stand-up comedy. How nervous do I get? More nervous than Wolverine masturbating. Camille Bird said I should put some awkward pauses in my act. Excuse me, I thought that was my act. And I understand that the FDA is cracking down on General Mills for claiming that Cheerios lowers your cholesterol. And I'm not going to comment on this controversy until I consult with my nutritionist, Count Chocula. Thank you very much.
Chris Martin, everybody.